So let's talk about Chinese medicine, shall we? You've heard me talk quite a lot about the Huna system. You've heard me talk about the Ayurvedic system, the chakras, if you will. I've done a whole series on the chakras. And now I'd like to look at the Chinese meridian system. Now, if you have ever had acupuncture or acupressure, those disciplines, modalities, if you will, use and rely heavily on the Chinese meridian system. And if you've worked with me and you've heard me ask the question, is this something in the chakra system? Is this something in the meridian system? You may have wondered what the meridian system is all about. So we go back to the elements. Now in the Chinese system, you've heard me also talk about the Hawaiian elements. Now the joke is, of course, that the Hawaiian had different elements than the Chinese did and so on. And we know that you've heard me talk about that at the same time the Hawaiians discovered these energy centers called moku, or islands of energy in the body. The Ayurvedics in East India, meaning Indian, from India, were discovering energy centers, and they called them chakras, Chakras. At the same time, the Chinese people, thousands of years ago, were identifying certain flow of energy called qi, Qi, or chi, Chi. And again, this is the thing about there is no right or wrong. And what I loved about the Huna tradition is that Ohe Pau Ko Ike Ko Halau dictates that think not that all wisdom is in one school. And so they would say, I have a way of doing it. Please, listen to me. Leave your prior knowledge at the door. I know you are masterful, and I respect your tradition. Please respect mine. So this is under the guise of not any particular right way. So the meridian system is actually based on the elements. Now, you know, if you've studied with me, that the Huna or Hawaiian tradition has 5 basic elements, and they are earth, air, water, fire, and Keave. And Keave is the word euphemistically for source, or higher level source, spiritual level energy. So 5 basic elements. Well, the Chinese added a couple because they had more elements than the Hawaiians did. They add metal and they add wood. And so you're going to take the same basic 4, air, fire, water, and earth, and you're going to add metal and wood to that. And I'm not going to go into what the Chinese system called source level energy. They had their own situation there. And so this series is going to be talking about the meridians, where they are, what they form. I am by no means an expert, although I sound kind of like I'm pretty knowledgeable. But if you want an expert in the meridian system, find an acupuncturist, find an acupressurist. Now, acupressure, of course, is more of a massage technique, and like shiatsu, right? Acupressure, and acupuncture is the one with the needles, and they actually study intensely for years on understanding the flow of energy throughout the body, and that is the Chinese meridian system.